Hello children, welcome back to the class. So in the previous class we have studied about cerebrum, forebrain. So what are the functions of cerebrum? What are all the functions that are controlled by cerebrum? And now, and below the cerebrum there is another structure called diencephalon. So below the diencephalon another structure is present which is called as hypothalamus. This hypothalamus connects forebrain and midbrain. And to this hypothalamus, a endocrine gland, it is which secretes a hormone, pituitary gland is attached. So pituitary gland is attached to the lower part of the brain, that is below the cerebrum, below the diencephalon, near the midbrain, pituitary gland is attached. And this hypothalamus main functions, it controls body temperature, hunger, thirst, emotions, etc. So and these are all under the control of hunger, thirst, emotions, body temperature. So these are all under the control of hypothalamus. Next part of the brain is midbrain. Midbrain contains myelinated neurons. These myelinated neurons control voluntary movements of the body. Voluntary movements means the movements which are under our control. They are called voluntary movements. Midbrain controls voluntary movements of the body. Next part is hindbrain. Hindbrain is mainly divided into two parts, cerebellum and brainstem. So cerebellum is mainly important in maintaining equilibrium. Equilibrium means how when we climb up the steps, when we carry some weights, we bend in such an angle. So that means maintaining equilibrium is very important. It is under the control of cerebellum, and it also important for body posture. Body posture means how a person sits, stands, walks. So body posture is under the control of cerebellum. And the next part is brainstem. Brainstem is divided into again two parts, pons varolii and medulla oblongata. So pons varolii is important in maintaining balance and also movement. It controls movement and also balance of the body. And the last part of the brain is medulla oblongata, which controls involuntary functions. Involuntary functions means the actions which are not under our control, like circulation of blood, blood pressure, respiration, heartbeat, temperature, secretion of saliva. So which are involuntary, which are not under our control. They are controlled by medulla oblongata. So these are all the parts of brain. And this medulla oblongata continues as a spinal cord. Medulla oblongata continues as a spinal cord, an elongated structure. And it is present in the column made by vertebra. So vertebra, they are situated one above the other. They make a column which is a vertebral column. In the vertebral column, a canal-like structure is present. In that, the spinal cord extends, and it is covered and protected by this vertebral column. So what are the functions of spinal cord? Spinal cord acts as a relay station. It carries impulses from sense organs to brain, and again it carries signals from brain to effector organ. So that is the one function of spinal cord. Another important function of spinal cord is execution of reflex actions. What are execution of reflex actions? The reflex actions are those where brain is not involved. Only spinal cord controls certain actions. So these reflex actions are they help us in escaping from external dangerous stimuli. So we can define reflex actions as sudden, involuntary, immediate actions which save us from external dangerous stimuli. They are called reflex actions. The reflex actions are under the control of spinal cord. Brain is not involved in the execution of reflex action. That is the function of spinal cord. So spinal cord mainly helps acting as relay station between sense organs and brain and effector organ, and execution of reflex actions. So we have seen that in brain, gray matter is outside and white matter is inside. But from in the medulla oblongata, reverse will take place. That means white matter is outside and gray matter is inside. And in the same way, spinal cord also, gray matter is inside and white matter is outside. And this gray matter is in the shape of X or H, having four limbs. X or H having four limbs. So that is dorsal limb, ventral limb, two dorsal limbs and two ventral limbs. So that we shall see how these reflex actions are executed by spinal cord. What are the components of reflex actions? What are the different types of reflex actions in the next class? Just this is the brain, cerebral hemispheres, that is one in the front side and other is two cerebral hemispheres, other on the back side, and below the cerebral hemispheres, midbrain can be seen, in the middle brain cavity and lower part cerebellum and then medulla oblongata, which continues as a spinal cord. So this is a picture of brain. So these are all important parts of brain, and in the next class we shall see what are reflex actions, how reflex actions take place, and what are the components of reflex actions. Next class we will see. Okay, thank you.